Let's get some more context and perspective on all of this with Lieutenant Colonel Darin Gaub. He's a retired Army battalion commander and Black Hawk pilot. So you've got two competing narratives going on here. You've got the Democrats browbeating the intel chiefs of the Trump administration for what they say is a glaring error in security by accidentally, inadvertently inviting a journalist onto a Signal chat. And then on the other side of the coin, you've got the Trump administration saying, hey, you know, we took it to the Houthis. People should appreciate that, particularly after a number of years of relative inaction by the previous administration. What do you think of both arguments here?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I think at some point we have to go towards that there can be two things true at the same time. And we did take it to the Houthis, and we should have. We needed to open up those shipping lanes. We have to stop letting them kind of dictate terms in the Suez Canal and all the different damage that they've done through that region while we continue to display weakness for year after year after year. Now you get to what I'm calling Signal Gate, and they're beating the drum on that, specifically on the Democrat side, of course, as demonstrated in this hearing. And you know, there were clearly some mistakes made there regarding who was invited into this group. It is an authorized use platform. I have used it during military operations of an unclassified nature for updates all through Eastern Europe and into Central Asia and the Middle East when I ran task forces. You have to discipline yourself in how you use it and what you share. You have to know what is and what is not classified. I think they're getting ahead of the conclusions of an investigations in the National Security Council investigation in order to score political points. Personally, I don't think some of this information I may not have shared if it were me, but I'm not them. I wasn't in their situation. And I think we need to let this investigation come to a conclusion first before they make their conclusions in front of the American public in a hearing that should be focused on other things.
Well, that really gets us to the crux of the situation. You say that you have used Signal in the past for unclassified conversations. And the point has been made time and time again during this hearing as to what exactly should be classified. And they have aired the segment from the text chain from Pete Hegseth, where he talks about the imminent strike against the Houthis and whether or not you would reasonably believe that to be classified information. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it needs to be, that needs to be part of the investigation and have that question asked. Clearly that needs to be answered and very clearly to the American people. I believe in accountability. It doesn't matter which party or which side of the platform people come from. So let's take a look at it and let's come to a very clear answer on it. We absolutely need to. The other thing, though, is that Signal was authorized for use because of its encryption and because of certain things you could pass that may have been unclassified, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to throw it out there in front of the world for everybody to see. That's also not a smart conclusion either. But my advice to the people when I was in command and using Signal was very simple. Assume that someone can see this that you don't want to, and you'll always be careful in what you share.
I guess that assumption wasn't part of the operating principle a couple of weeks ago. Lieutenant Colonel, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.